Hello and welcome to FutureWorx. My name is Steve Corona. I'm the Executive Director of Latinos Count, along with Aaron Robles.
Yeah, we're here today to help you learn about student internships and how they can help you jumpstart your career. A student internship is a great way to get your foot in the door.
That's right, Aaron. There's no better way than actually working in a local business, learning what they do, and at the same time helping them to get to know your skills and abilities. So, in the next few minutes, you might just learn something that leads you to a career with a great local company looking for smart people who have the confidence to step up and show what they've got.
Today, you'll meet two recent grads who did land a job after an internship and hear their advice to help you get a head start as well. Get ready to jot down company names, website addresses, and other information because there are several internship opportunities that you may be qualified for.
Okay, so let's get started by meeting four local companies that offer internships and are eager to hear from you. We've put together short video clips from interviews we did to learn about these employers, what they do, and what jobs they have available. First up, Parkview Health, with over 14,000 jobs. 14,000 jobs. They are our area's largest employer. Parkview has both employment and internship opportunities for both high school and college students too. Does Parkview offer paid and unpaid internships?
We do. We have a very robust high school internship program and as well as a college internship program. So our high school internship program, we bring in anywhere from about 50 to 100 students each semester through the fall semester and spring semester, and that's with various schools throughout Fort Wayne and Northeast Indiana. And then our summer internship program is primarily in the summertime, but we do have fall and spring semester internships as well.
How do I find out more information about those internship programs?
Yeah, so you can go out to parkview.com again, and we have a section of our careers page that talks about student learning opportunities. So not only internships, but again, job shadows and clinicals as well.
How often does that internship lead to a full-time offer from you?
That's something we're really focused on. We just don't want us internship to be summer help per se. We want it to lead to internship. So a lot of times what happens is we'll have a summer intern. They will stay on throughout the school year if their schedule allows. And then when they graduate, they will come on full time with Parkview Health. So quite a bit that does happen, and we want that to happen because obviously orientation training is shorter when we can do that, when we have somebody already in our pipeline that we have filling the jobs.
Ryan, I don't know a lot about Lincoln Financial Group. If I had to take the test today, I would probably get about a C. What I do know is that it started in Fort Wayne in the early 1900s, and the original name was the Lincoln National Life Insurance Company. I know that because I see that big sign across the top of the building. But other than that, I don't know what Lincoln National Life has transformed into us. Please tell us a little bit about what the company does today.
A big misconception is that we are a bank. We're not a bank. We are a financial institution. We basically have four main products. Here in Fort Wayne, we house the retirement plan services product for the most part for the company. We also offer life and annuities, life insurance, and group protection. Fort Wayne is one of our key cities, but actually our headquarters is in Radnor, Pennsylvania. It's about a 45-minute drive from Philly, but we're pretty much located everywhere within the United States.
We have a lot of students, high school and college students, that are watching this program. What advice would you give them if they are seeking an internship position with your company?
Great question, Steve. So our summer internship starts, I believe, beginning of June, and it's about a 10-week program. This last 2 years, they've actually been virtual. And we have different internship positions depending on what the students, what they're studying or what their interests are. We have business internships, like more on the finance side. actuarial science. But we also have internships maybe in HR, customer service. We even have some IT, computer science internships. So wide variety of different opportunities here, depending on what you're studying. And even if maybe you're not necessarily going for that particular degree and you're interested in learning more about what this department does, we offer that too as part of our internship experience. Even though it is over the summer, our application process starts in the spring. And these internships are for students that are a rising junior or senior. So what that means is your sophomore going into your junior year that summer, and then the junior year, and then summer, and then going into senior year, if that makes sense.
And you're talking about college students.
College students, I apologize. Yes, for the internships, you have to be a college student. For students that are 18 or finishing up their senior year in high school, we have those entry-level roles that I mentioned that require just a high school diploma, and that's an opportunity for students coming off of high school and ready to go into the workforce.
Kevin, let me start with you and tell me a little bit about Fort Wayne Metals. What exactly do you make? What do you do, and who are your customers?
So about 95% of our business is in the medical grade wire. So we provide wire. We don't make medical devices, but we provide the wire to the companies who do. And then the other 5% of our business would be in electronics and aerospace and things like that.
Can you talk a little bit about your internship positions and in what departments might those exist?
Yeah, our internships open, I believe they get posted in December, January, and that's for the 2022 summer internship program. We have internships from HR to talent development to accounting to engineer, sales, all different, all over the board there. And usually every summer we have, I want to say 40 to 50 interns. We have about 30% of those interns turn into full-time Fort Wayne Metals employees. So,
one of the things that makes our internship program unique is they actually work on significant projects that are important to the organization. So real-life casework, and a lot of the interns, they come up with very creative solutions to some of the problems that we have in different areas, whether it's finance, safety, engineering, production.
In the maintenance department, we take interns, juniors and seniors in high school.
Great.
What I love about the program itself is I currently in my department, I have 3 individuals that were interns, and they are either in leadership roles in engineering, all in engineering. What's interesting is you can see the projects they worked on when they were interns are implemented and they are still currently working with those projects or in that department. So it's definitely interesting to watch the growth process of at the time college student. Now they've turned into leaders within the walls of Fort Wayne Metals. So it's being done on a daily basis.
Welcome. And you are one of the largest employers in the area, certainly the city. Can you talk about the variety of positions on the city payroll?
Well, as a municipality, we have a lot of different things we get involved in. And in general, it might be helpful to understand really what municipalities are responsible for. So cities and city governments oversee the functions that citizens need to live. We provide things like clean drinking water, sewer services, trash and garbage pickup, recreation, street signs and lights, even parking spaces. We also, of course, provide public safety services such as law enforcement through our police department, fire protection, and even animal control.
Does the city offer paid and unpaid internships?
Yes, we do. We have internships that are specifically designed to result in full-time employment. As a matter of fact, at least 2 of them are engineers and electrician internships. Our That's our primary recruitment methodology. So that's how we get employees. So it's designed to bring you in and give you employment while you're learning in college, and then hire you at the end of that internship.
So I hope you took notes about these internships and will reach out and apply in time to get an interview.
You really can't beat an internship that lets you get an inside look at whether it's a good fit for you. And even if you don't want to make a career in that field, you're sure to learn something that'll help you get into whatever it is you want to do.
So let's move on and watch this interview Aaron conducted with three Latinos who are just starting their careers because of relationships they built through these internships.
Today, I am talking to three great individuals who did just that. They took an internship and created an opportunity from it. So thanks to all of you for taking the time to talk to me today. I want to go down the line and have you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your internship. So Brian, why don't you start us off?
Sure. My name is Brian Castillo. I currently work at Lincoln Financial Group here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. My internship, I actually did it at Parkview Health. I did that the summer of my junior year going into my senior year of 2019. And I did that for originally over the summer, but then my internship extended and I did that for about 8 months.
My name is Karina Vasquez, and I also, I'm working at Eli Lilly right now as a scientist. And I interned with Eli Lilly in the summer between my junior year going into my senior year, which was 2019. And it was just a summer internship, so it only lasted about 3 months.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carlos Lopez, and I am currently interning at Foreign Metals, which is located here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, by the airport. Currently, I am a year-round intern working with the engineering department at the tech center.
Talk to me about when you got accepted to these internships. What did you think it was going to be like? What did you imagine? Let's start with you, Karina.
I had no idea of what it was or what to expect. I didn't know what was the pharmaceutical industry, or what I could do there. I honestly just did it for the experience, and I actually ended up loving it. And it turns out that a lot of my passions in the lab actually matched up a lot with some of the jobs that they were offering.
Honestly, very similar with what Karina said. I did not know what to expect. So I actually, with Parkview Health, so one of the biggest health systems here in Northeast Indiana. So I think when people think of Parkview, you think of doctors and nurses, right? But there's a lot more to a hospital, if you will. My internship was in their HR department, specifically in their training team. Anytime someone was onboarded or orientation with Parkview, I helped assist in that team. And so I was able to kind of job shadow other departments at Parkview.
I've been learning a lot more about the technical aspects within the engineering field. As you go through engineering school, you learn more of the theoretical stuff behind, how this works or different concepts and stuff. But as I'm at Foreign Metals, I'm starting to pick up more of the technical experience that comes along with engineering.
I'm interested to hear, what is one of the most impactful things that your internships have taught you? Like when you go back to the experience, what was something that you use today or will continue to use in your career that you learned at that internship? Brian, let's start with you.
Sure, great question. So for me, the biggest thing that I got out of the internship was really networking. I know networking is important before, but even during your internship and even after. So for example, me working at Parkview, it was a huge company, so many different departments. And so every time I was in a meeting, I made sure that I emailed that person later on and say, hey, can we grab a cup of coffee? And, can I pick your brain for 30 minutes, learn more about your department, what you do?
Networking is very important. Like letting them know, like, I'm here and I want to come back, or I want to do this. But the second part was like a bunch of doors open for me. Like I was very set on being a doctor, and I thought that was like the best thing I could do, and that's what I was going to do, and that was my only option with my degree. But in reality, there's so many jobs out there that as like Latinos and Latinas we don't get exposed to, and we don't see often, and we don't see ourselves doing it until you see other Latinos do it. And I think that was like a huge impact that this internship had with me. Like I found some of my best mentors that until this day I'm connected with, even though like we're not in the same department and we're very far away from each other. Thanks to them, I came back, and I think representation was very important during that internship, and it was very impactful.
All of these are incredible places to have an internship at. So I'm sure that they are all very competitive. Can you talk to me about the application process for you, Carlos?
My other internships kind of, I went to job fairs or through a banquet, and kind of we information was exchanged from there, and then it was, oh, let's set up for an interview, or I got an email for them, let's do a meetup. It was definitely, I took a lot of time to make sure had all my ducks in a row with my resume, how it should look for an engineering student, make sure my cover letter include everything it needed to have. That way I wouldn't make it to the next step, which was hopefully interview.
Yeah, so I agree with Carlos. I think a strong resume definitely makes a difference. And I think before you even apply for the internship, you have to attend a workshop where they go through your resume just to polish it and dissect it with you, like letting you know why you should highlight a little bit more, why you should write on, or just the way you format it.
Brian, to follow up, I'm interested. What is it that you think made you stand out compared to the other people that were applying for the same internship?
Yeah, so I think with most college students, we feel like we don't have enough experience. But a big thing that I highlighted was my leadership experience through student organizations. So while I was in school, I was in several different organizations, and I was able to kind of do a leadership role in these student orgs. And so I was able to kind of highlight that kind of stuff, leading a project. A lot of the school projects that you do, they kind of transfer to the real world. And so I was kind of able to make that connection.
I like how we're talking about, taking, even though we don't have as much experience in one area, we're using the strengths that we have in the other. What are the role that Latinos can play in these internship opportunities, in these jobs, and not just the jobs, but leadership positions, right? Is it hard for Latinos to get these opportunities, or what do you think?
I personally don't think. I think it's just like, your hard work and your strong work ethic will speak for itself, when it comes to getting these type of internships. But I think it plays a big role in demonstrating to other young students and young professionals that are, they're in school that, if he can do it, so can I,
I think it can be difficult sometimes, like as a Latino or Latina, to get exposed to internships. So it's not about whether you get it or not. It's more about the exposure that you're getting early on in your college career. Because like if you don't know those opportunities are out there, how are you going to grab them, right?
Do you think that employers, whether it's an internship or a job, do you think that they are lowering their standards in order to hire Latinos or other minorities, or are they holding you up to that same standard?
I definitely do not think because because I'm Latino, like I get an easy road, to that spot. I still have to work, the same as my other counterparts. And sometimes I have to work harder to be at that same level.
It's not about giving us the advantage, but rather leveling the playing field, like by exposing people of color way early on and letting them know these opportunities are here and you don't have to be less qualified and we'll give it to you. No, it's just leveling the playing field and finding more talent. Every opportunity I get, whether it's professional or personal development, I always say yes. Because whether you want it or not, you might meet someone that might connect you with the opportunity that you want, or you might just get more skills that are transferable to the job that you want.
So I think that no matter where anyone is looking, what kind of internship they want, your experiences and your advice is something that everyone can apply to what their strategy is going to be in the future.
So you see, internships come in many different forms. Some are short-term, some are internships that can last for months. Some are paid and some are not. Some are specifically designed to lead to full-time work, and others are just general experience builders. Former Wayne TV anchor Tara Brantley talked with 3 college advisors who've seen all sorts of internship programs over the year. Listen to their advice on how to find the opportunity that's right for you.
So, Katrina, what do you think are the ingredients of a successful internship?
That's a great question. It really is a commitment on the parts of all parties to provide an excellent educational opportunity for students. That means there need to be very clear expectations of what's expected of the student and the employer and the faculty member who is overseeing that internship. We have to have meaningful work for students. That means they're not there to make coffee or file papers, but that they're really doing activities that were related to their major and gaining skill and strength with that. And then we really hope that it is an opportunity that leads to a job for that student or a possible job in the future.
And Joe, same thing?
Yeah, meaningful project work. I think, having that consistent feedback, mentor is important. The social opportunities and network. At the end of the day, they're networking themselves into this opportunity as they graduate. So, and then, training, what training opportunities, these individuals could, get involved with, and then just making firm connections and lasting connections. Because I think with the talent pipeline challenges right now, internships are so important for employers to build a better talent pipeline.
So, Cindy, is it all about those connections?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It really does make a difference in terms of networking, making sure you're connecting with people that they can see you shine on the job, that you're bringing that energy and enthusiasm, that knowledge from the classroom that you just learned. So important, so important.
So, personal advice, what would you tell a student who's trying to get an internship or a job? What personal advice would you give them, each of you? Joe, let's start with you.
Yeah, my advice would be, meet as many people as you can there. Learn about the company. Maybe set some SMART goals for yourself. Ask lots of questions. I think a mentor is so important, and continue to, work with that mentor. Ask questions of the mentor. Embrace the opportunity. Are some of the suggestions that I would have.
The internship is supposed to give you experience that's going to help lead you to the job that you want after graduation, right? So you really need to set some ideas and have goals in mind of what you want to accomplish, like Joe said. But you also need to be able to be prepared to talk to an employer. You need to be able to, as I like to say, you need to be able to let an employer know what you learned in the classroom and how you can make an impact on the company day one. And so sometimes practicing those interview skills are important, making sure your resume really reflects you and the skills and abilities you have. All those are an important part of landing that internship.
I think another really important piece is to make sure you're taking advantage of all of the opportunities to develop yourself that are available through your university or your high school. We have a lot of things that are in place that students don't always take advantage of, like the mock interviews and the resume reviews. And then we have places where they can search for internships, software programs that connect students with opportunities, and other kinds of things through the state of Indiana that help support students in internships. And then I also recommend to students that they really milk the network around them. That means people that they know who work for companies, perhaps their parents' friends, talking to them about their jobs and whether they have internship programs.
Okay.
Yeah, Tara, I'd also add Parker Dewey. Parker Dewey is a micro internship site that has short 20 to 40 hour opportunities for students to do a virtual paid internship. And these short, experiences can really help build their resume, especially if a student's working and going to school and all those other things. So Parker Dewey is another great resource for students as well.
Okay, thank you for that, Cindy. I know that we see a growing list of firms that are publicly saying that they are committed to diversity, equity, inclusion in their hiring practice. Why do you think that now is a really good time for people of color to find a good job?
We have seen so much more of an intentional response by communities and employers to both commit themselves to diversity and inclusion, and then demonstrate that through their hiring announcements or job descriptions, that's a piece of what they want to offer. I think it's an excellent market right now for students who come from a diverse population. And I think they're going to find that employers are more receptive than ever to the excitement of having someone who brings a different perspective to the workplace.
Now, Cindy, Indiana Tech is in the heart of downtown. You all have an incredibly diverse student population.
Yes, Tara, we are 41% globally and domestically diverse. And it can't just be on the job posting. It has to be a lived purpose and sense of belonging for people of color to be welcomed into a company. And students are smart. They can tell, they go in. I've had students do internships at a company, be offered a job and not take the job. And then the company comes back to me and says, why did this student not accept our job? And it's like, because you talk the talk, but you did not walk the walk. That is key to having a diverse workforce.
Okay, we have shared a ton of good advice, and I hope it's got you thinking about some jobs you're curious about. Whether you're in high school or college, advisors are a great place to start on your search for an internship opportunity. If you don't have a resume together yet, ask about where you can get help to get started.
So what you saw today is just part of the information waiting for you on our Latinos Count website and on Instagram. Full interviews with these and other companies will help you learn more about the jobs they have available, the type of skills and workers they're looking for, and how to apply. So, thanks for watching.